for this video, this is going to be the second part of some of the annuity calculations. So with annuity and interest as well, sometimes they ask you for like the future payment or the present value of something, and they give you the annuity payment. So we're just going to work through some of those examples to simplify and understand what those mean. So let's look at the formula for future value. So with future value, we're going to work some examples of this. They're going to give you their annuity payment. So they're going to give you the annuity payment. They're going to give you the interest rate and the number of compounded year, or number of times it's compounded in a year, which we're also going to keep using this I, which just stands for R over N, which is just the interest rate over the number of times compounded per year. And the reason we're doing that is just like we have already looked at. It just simplifies the math. T still going to be time for year. The only thing that really changes is this and this. And obviously this part is a little bit different. But that's the formula for that. I'm going to send you this as well so you'll be able to look at it. I'm also going to give it to you on a test or something. That way you can look at it. Now we're going to look at the formula for present value. So if it's giving you the present value, this is what it will look like. Take the annuity, so it's going to give you the annuity. It's going to give you the interest rate. It's going to give you the number of times compounded per year, and it's going to give you the time. And we're also going to keep using I equals R over N just to simplify things. So let's look at some problems. Okay. So it says Josephine. And we're going to keep doing these the same way as well. Just when you get a word problem like this, just go through, pick out the information you need. It just makes it so much simpler. So Josephine started working full-time and plans to deposit $3,000. So usually when it says like deposit $3,000 annually, that's talking about the annuity payment because that's how much she's going to be paying annually, which is just per year. So that's how much she's going to be like holding back. We don't care about the IRA stuff. It just says it earns 6% interest. We need that. It's compounded annually. We need that, even though when it says she's depositing it annually, it's kind of the same thing. So that just means the N is going to be 1. And then it says how much will be in her IRA in 20 years. So this just means we need to find the future value of this. We need to find the future value of this in 20 years, pretty much, of this annuity payment. So pretty much if she does this for 20 years, how much is it going to be worth? How much money will she have? So we're going to use, I'm going to rewrite this even though you're going to be given it, just so you can see it again. Because the basics of doing these, just like before, take the formula, identify what goes with each of the things it's asking for, and then just plug it in. So we got P, M, T times 1 plus I to the NT minus 1. That's not all divided by. So divided by I believe. Let's go up and make sure. Yep, that's what it looks like. Okay. So now we're just going to identify everything. I'd write that down. Pause the video and write that down. So let's actually look at identifying these things. So we said we needed the PMT, which is this, just the annuity payment. That was what, 3,000? So that's going to be 3,000. We also need We also need to figure out what I is. So I is going to be R over N, which is going to be equal to 0.6. That's our interest rate. Our number of times it's compounded is just 1, so that's just going to equal 0.06. We also need to figure out what, well, we know N is 1, then we just need the time, and the time's just going to be 20 years. All right. Now all we got to do is plug all that stuff in the formula I just gave you, and we'll be good to go. So it should look something like this. We could say equals 3,000 times 1 plus 0.06. And that is raised to the positive power of NT. And so NT is just going to equal 20 because 20 times 1 is just 20. So it's going to be the positive 20 minus 1. All of that over I, which is R over N, which is equals 0.06. You're going to plug that in your calculator, and that's going to give you your final answer, which is going to be $110,356.77. That's how you do it. So I'll do one more. I'll do one more just to show you. I would write all this down, so pause the video if you need time. Just write all this down. All right, so I'll do one more just so you can see difference. I'll also probably have, I think all of these are like future value problems, so I may have to give you some more, but we'll see. All right, so we're going to do this the same way. We're going to go through this word problem and just kind of underline the stuff we need. So it says Matthew deposits $3,000, so he's depositing $3,000. That just means that's going to be his annuity payment into a bank at the end of each year. That just means he's doing it yearly. If he's doing it at the end of each year, that means he's doing it once per year. And then if it's just 2% interest and it's compounded annually, that means our N is going to be 1. It says how much we have in his account after 5 years. So that's going to be our time. So you could do it this way too. You could just go through and say, okay, I know this is my PMT right there. I know that this is going to be my interest rate. I know that this is going to be my N. I know that this is going to be my T. So my annuity payment, my PMT is $3,000. My rate, my interest rate's 2%. My number of times it's compounded is N. And then my number of years, which is T, my time is 5 years. So you could also do that if you wanted to, just to save yourself a little bit of writing. The only thing you really have to remember is that I equals R over N. So that would equal 0.02 over 1, which is just 0.02. All right. And you'll plug it into the same formula that we just used. So this is going to be a future value one. I would have that formula written out so you could see it, look at it, and just plug stuff in. So we're just going to, everything we just labeled, we're just going to plug in. So should look like this. We'll have FV equal, so it'll be 3,000. That'll be times 1 plus 0.02. That'll be raised to the 5th power because N is 1, T is 5, so N times T equals 5. N times T equals 5. So that's where I got that from. Then that's going to be minus, that's going to be, hold up a second. There we go. That's going to be minus 1 on the end of that. All divided by 0.02. Okay. So then you plug that in your calculator. That's going to give you $15,612.12. Okay, so that's how you do those. That's the future, if it gives you the future value, or if it gives you the annuity payment and you need to find the future value. So that's how you do that. We'll get into the present value problems probably in another video or in class. So that is it for this video.